Welcome to Interviewing the Legends with Ray Shasho. Today's guest is actress and author Kathy Garver.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to another edition of Interviewing the Legends. I'm your host, Ray Shasho. Most fondly remembered for her starring role as Cissy in the long-running CBS international television hit Family Affair, Kathy Garver has also garnered critical acclaim in movies, stage, radio, voiceover animation, and audiobook narration. Her professional acting career began when she was just 7 years old, appearing in TV westerns, sitcoms, and dramatic programs such as Climax and Matinee Theater. When she was 8 years old, Hollywood legendary directors Cecil B. DeMille recognized Kathy's distinct talents. Originally hired for a small part in the epic motion picture, The 10 Commandments. Today, Kathy is an accomplished and versatile actress and a best-selling author. In 2020, she finished 2 pilots, TV dinners for which she is host, and Aunt Cissy, a spin-off of Family Affair. Also in 2023, she starred in 2 comedies, Old Man Jackson and Yellowbird. For all her accomplishments, including her new Cissy collection, which includes her signature candles, lotion, and room spray, Kathy's sales will be billowing in some very favorable waters for quite some time. Please welcome actor, voiceover talent, author, host, speaker, producer, workshop leader, most recognized, of course, as Cissy of the American sitcom Family Affair, Kathy Garver, to Interviewing the Legends.
Thank you very much, Ray. One of these days, I'm going to grow up and decide what I want to be.
I didn't realize how busy you've been for the last 30 or 40 years. Man.
Yes, that's what I have my fingers in a lot of pots.
Yes, you have. And you're as beautiful as ever, may I say.
Well, thank you.
We all had a crush on you, in Family Affair.
I appreciate that. What happened to the crush? Is it gone?
Yeah, you haven't changed. It's amazing.
A little older, a little more wrinkled,
Yeah, I know. We're all older.
It's better than the alternative, of course.
Exactly. But you know what? I've met a lot of people my age. I'm 65. And I've met so many people.
You don't look like you're 65.
Thank
it's
you.
the energy, I think, part of it.
I've got 5 grandkids.
Wow.
Yeah. But a lot of people my age, man, they just let themselves go. I mean, they look like they're 15, 20 years older than me. Have you seen that?
I have seen that. I went to a high school reunion, and I have a son that I had a little later in life that has never left home. Mm-hmm. And not only did he not leave home, he invited his girlfriend to live with us 12 years ago. So this combination with these kids around all the time, I keeps me young, but she is our daughter in love. So I have no grandkids. I have a lot of grand dogs, grandkids.
That's awesome. Yeah, the kids will keep you young, especially when they live with you,
Yes.
My grandkids are always over here,
It's
We have one rule when they're here. There are no rules.
Oh, and that's why they like to go to Granddad's house.
Exactly. We spoil them like crazy.
Yeah.
So what do you got going on? I know I've been watching some of the trailers on. I saw Yellowbird and Old Man Jackson. Very cool movies that you just did recently. What else is going on?
Well, at the beginning of the year, I did a movie called Christmas at the Roanoke Ranch.
Okay.
And that was great. I really enjoyed it. Riding horses and Christmas season, it's always fun. The poor producer, we were shooting in Michigan, and he was shooting 2 Christmas movies, and he picked this particular time because there was a snowstorm and there was snow. I get there, all the snow melts. Like 45 degrees, and it is warmer there than where I live in Bell Canyon in California. So we could do all the interior scenes, but I had to go back, and then they got a double for me as well when the snow finally fell again in Michigan. But it's a wonderful movie. It really is great, and it's a little twist, and it was done on the Roanoke Ranch, which is an actual ranch in Michigan that they have therapy horses, and they have the therapy horses help like the disabled kids and kids at risk, also veterans and
Right.
the blind, and it's a wonderful, wonderful ranch. Anyway, it's a story of, girl loses boy, boy gets girl, boy,
Mhm.
that same kind of thing. That's my nephew, and I own the ranch. So it'll be out starting in November. So I did that one. I'm scheduled to do The Thing About Pickles, which is a movie also with Charlene Tilton.
Oh,
And
great.
yeah, Suzette Brown. We're going to shoot that in Chicago.
Mhm.
And it's kind of a Golden Girls meets a different kind of this Magnolias, Sweet Magnolias. So that's it's a comedy drama.
Mhm.
And so that one is the movie. I'm doing a new book that should be out at the end of the year called Romancing with the Stars.
Oh, awesome.
And I know you've written books about interviews. Well, we have interviewed some of my celebrity friends that
Mhm.
have long-term relationships, which is very hard to find in Hollywood,
It
I
is.
must say. But we have like Keith Thibodeau and Ruta Lee and different people, celebrities that have had long marriages and relationships and where they met. And then we do like a little travel log where people can recreate it. Like there was Stephanie, oh, I forget her last name right now. Stephanie Powers,
Okay.
went on a safari. So there's, here's a good place to go for a safari. And my friend Sherry Alberoni, that was a Mouseketeer and played my friend on. So she met like in Los Angeles. So the hot spots in LA. So it's a travel guide. So that's going to be out at the end of the year. We have 2 more interviews to go. I'm doing it with a friend, Doug Hartline. And then I've just been tapped to be the celebrity representative for Mrs. Beasley's company, which is the Bradford Exchange.
Oh, yeah. They're
And
great.
they,
Yeah.
such a wonderful, I mean, I've known them ever since I had like a little tiny tears stall
Mhm.
when I was a child, and that was quite some time ago. But Mrs. Beasley was such a part of Family Affair.
Mhm.
And in one of my books, which one? Yeah, Family
Okay.
is
There you go.
Scrapbook. She has a whole chapter in this, and all the memorabilia that was out with her were coloring books and this and that. And she still sells like 100,000 products per year of Mrs. Beasley. So now, because she's so popular, they have new Mrs. Beasley ornaments. And so I'm
Oh,
going on
cool.
QVC and Shopping Center, and I'm going to
Yeah.
show how we all still love Mrs. Beasley. So that's keeping me busy as well. Then I'm trying to finish up the funding, which is always fun to do 2 movies, one in Australia,
Oh, wow.
which is based on I'm not going to give the name of it, but it's based on a very classic book.
Mhm.
And it has been done, but the time that it was done, it's about a little girl, was never based on the book itself. Just use the title. So we're working on that one. And then we're working on another one, Don Westwood. That's a fantasy Western. So I'm working on those. And then we already have the funding for, oh, hooray, hooray. It's a movie I'm going to do next year called The Broken Road. And again, it involves therapy horses. I like to ride. And then there's another one that I can't say yet. but that's all set to go. So
I'm worn out just listening to you talk about your projects.
yeah, me too. Me too. What I
My
did,
gosh.
I did, this is my office.
Okay.
So this is like a sliding glass door to a level roof. So there's like a spiral staircase up to
Right.
it. It's like, the same height as the roof.
Right.
So I'm building a little roof garden, and
Oh,
I
cool.
already have this great big wading pool. It's a
Whoa.
wading pool with a top on it, and I'm getting some plants and things. So that's my son calls this my oasis.
Sure.
So this is from my thing. I go out into my oasis and sit on the lounge chair by my wading pool. It's my water
Yeah.
feature.
Kind of like your mommy
Yeah.
cave.
Right. Exactly.
The movie you got coming out in November, would you consider that like a rom-com?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because you're perfect in rom-com. I love rom-coms. I
Yeah.
watch it with my wife. I call them mommy movies.
Right. And they do Christmas in July. Actually, I just did a commercial and 2 weeks ago, and I played Mrs. Claus. I have
Oh, wow.
always wanted to play Mrs. Claus. So
Yeah.
I got this commercial. And plus I do this other commercial, clear captions.
I,
And
I saw that.
have you
Yeah.
seen that? Well, we
Yes.
finally did new ones about a month and a half ago. So they should be playing. I think everyone's really kind of tired of my grandson, my husband, but they're still in this one. It's a sequel to the first clear captions.
You know, I talked to some of my family about you. I said, you know, you remember Cissy and blah, 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 Kathy Garver? And, oh, yeah, of course we know Cissy. She's in that commercial, you know. Everybody talks about that commercial. It's like first
I
on their
know.
mind is that commercial for some reason.
And you know what was just awful? It's always on my mind. And so, unfortunately, my husband let his driver's license expire. So we got his driver's license, and just by the nick of time, I got it into the car insurance company.
Right.
And I says, oh, so I said, and then I just got a letter last month. It says, well, your car insurance has been, it's expired. I said, what? I sent you my husband's driver's license. And he says, well, look at the email. I looked at the email, and my insurance company is Clear Cover. I said, support at Clear Captions.
That's funny.
Oh, babe, I did that.
Oh my gosh.
I mean, how stupid is that?
I've done that.
Have you? Oh, thank you, Ray.
My insurance lapsed, and it's big trouble when your auto insurance lapses. I didn't realize it's tough getting it reinstated again after a certain period.
You can't go back to the same company. And I said, well, I'll start a new,
Right.
No, we don't do California anymore.
Oh my gosh.
There are so many insurance companies that have, gone out of the state, as well as house insurance. They canceled our insurance because we're at risk. Foremost, I had to go to California Fair Plan in order to get, because nobody was writing insurance for homes in California. So that's my sad tale of insurance.
We have the issue here because of hurricanes, so it's tough to, I'm in Florida, so.
Where in Florida are you?
In the Sarasota, Bradenton area, not, south of Tampa, on the West Coast. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's hot here.
Hard. Yeah. Yeah. And you have humidity. It's much drier.
Right.
We have dry heat, but it's, 98 today, I think.
That's all?
Yeah. Thank goodness. Thank goodness.
Are you still doing your voiceovers as well?
I am.
Okay.
I did 2 or 3 audiobooks. I've done like about 60 audiobooks. I was just thinking might be one up here in my messy office to show you, but there was a series of books that I just finished.
Okay.
About a cat and a dog and Jesus.
Well, really?
Yeah. So that it's quite a combination of things.
Yeah.
One is A Cat's Tale of the Nativity.
Right.
And it was a cat's observance of what happened. And then another.
Oh, that's cool. That's actually pretty cool.
Yeah. So
like a fly on the wall, but it's a cat.
Exactly. Trying to get the fly. Yeah.
You've also composed music.
Yeah.
I mean, is there anything you can't do?
I can't lift up my big boxes that are at the end of my spiral staircase. So
You're not supposed to.
No, and that's why I have a 5'11" son who works.
They come in handy, don't they?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he's a good cook too.
Yeah. Oh, really? He's a good cook. That really comes in handy.
He's a great cook. I've actually written 3 cookbooks, but
I saw that. Yeah.
He has a total different way of looking at cooking. And I, started with, just measuring every single thing exactly right. And from the time he was like a baby, my husband would put him up on the counter. He says, oh, smell this spice. who smelled this spice? And so he puts this in, and that in, and it always comes out good.
Yeah.
Very creative. So,
Oh, how long
yeah,
you been married?
oh, gee, 43 years.
Hey, I'm 41 years.
Ah,
Yeah.
for us.
Let's see,
Yeah,
I got married in 83. You were what, 81?
yeah, exactly.
How about that? That's pretty cool.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So, and that's, one of the foundations of this new book,
Yeah.
Romancing with the Stars, and what makes for a good marriage. What do you think makes for your good marriage?
Agreeing with your wife.
A man after my own heart.
Do not argue with your wife. It doesn't work, and you're not going to win. So, yes,
Yeah.
dear.
That's kind of thing. My husband lets me do what I want to do.
Yep.
And he will listen to my stories and just
Mhm.
nod, and I'll go on and on. And
That's me. That's
Mhm.
me.
See, this is why you guys are so good.
That's exactly. You mentioned Keith Thibodeau. He was on the show. He's a great guy.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Yes. He's had a nice long marriage, and his wife Kathy is great with their ballet troupe.
Their ballet troupe. He's in Mississippi, I think, isn't he? Mississippi?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. Yes.
I had Lucy Arnaz on the show too, and she's a fellow Cuban because my mom was Cuban, so we hit it off.
She's another wonderful person. I've seen
Mhm.
her one woman show.
Yeah, it's excellent.
Yeah, and we're friends. I remember when she and Desi Jr. were up on, it was a MeTV award show, and
Yep.
they were accepting for her mom, the best comedian, and she's very
She's cool.
able. Yeah, she is.
Yeah, I'm friends with the Livingstons too, Stanley and Barry.
Oh, right. Yeah.
Yeah.
They their show was done by Don Fedderson, who
Mhm.
also produced Family Affair.
Didn't you date him at one time or something?
Stanley or Barry? No.
No, the producer.
Oh, yeah, the son. Oh, yeah, Greg. Greg Fedderson.
Yeah.
His dad found out about that and kind of cut my part down for a couple.
Is that
before
right?
I
Oh
stopped
gosh. Why?
dating
It's
to
Cissy.
help.
Come on. Well, I want to talk about Family Affair a little bit. First of all, Brian Keith seemed like such a cool guy. And I just want to mention, this guy was in World War II. He was a tail gunner. He was, he was a Marine like my dad. He, won all kinds of medals. Was he like that in real life with his personality, basically?
What he was just such a wonderful combination, I think, in a guy,
Mhm.
because he would, he had this macho, really strong thing, and yet he was so sensitive, and he absolutely adored kids. He loved his family,
Right.
and and so that emotion he always had, which made him fabulous for Family Affair. So it didn't get to be too squeaky,
Yeah.
flowery, but it was his strong presence and his naturalism that I think made it such a classic. And just the genuine love that he has for people, and he had for we kids, and so he was just a wonderful actor.
He was so laid back, and
Very
such a
laid
great
back.
uncle.
Yeah, great uncle. How can I help you? And offset, he loved to tell stories, a very anecdotal. And he would say, well, when he did the Reflections in a Golden Eye with Elizabeth Taylor.
Yeah.
And so when he was he was getting ready to do this movie, and he was lassoing, and he was very much of a method actor. And because of that, he was able to be, in my estimation, very confident when he went to actually perform and
Right.
do a moment to moment thing. Yeah, he was great.
Yeah, he was a cool guy. Sally Field said in Gidget, the guy that played her dad was like a real dad. He was, they actually back and forth were like daughter and dad, because I don't think her real dad was as, personal as he was. So he kind of filled the void for her, during that show. It was interesting, I thought.
Yeah, that happens, I think, in a lot of series where you become attached and to certain person, and it all depends on a person's lifestyle. At
Right.
that time, I was young and having a great time. I was with my
Yeah.
parents the first time, and then after that, I was with my college roommates and dating and but my parents were always there. And Brian was going through lots of things because he had his kids the first year, and then
Right.
he got a divorce, and then he met this very nice person, and then they had a child, and then they got married, and so he was going through his own ups and downs.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
sometimes I would have to say, "It's okay, Brian."
Exactly.
And how the roles kind of reverse.
I know. And Sebastian Cabot, he was awesome. A lot of people don't know this. He was in the Army, U.S. Army, and he was in World War II. He was actually a chauffeur and a valet in real life as well for a British actor, Frank Pettingell. I think that was his name. So that was interesting.
Yeah, but I never knew that he was in the U.S. Army. That's interesting to me.
That's what it says. Yeah.
Wow.
I was surprised when they said U.S. Army. I thought maybe the British, Corps or something.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's from Wikipedia, or what is that from?
That's Wikipedia. And Wikipedia is not always right, because when I talk to some rock stars and I mention little tidbits, they say, I never heard that before.
Right, yeah. And it's supposed to be verified, but many times,
Many times it's not.
There's holes in it, but yeah.
Yeah. But, of course, he did a lot of animated films, a lot of voiceover. But he was a great Santa Claus, wasn't he?
Yeah, he did the TV version, I think, of Miracle on 34th Street.
He did back in 73. He was great.
When they did the remake of Family Affair, which was not very good, it lasted, I think, maybe 9 episodes. And the episode we did, Johnny Whitaker played Santa Claus.
Really?
In the episode. He's lost a lot of weight since then, but at that time, he was a good Santa Claus. I mean, I enjoyed playing Mrs. Claus.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Sebastian was like with Disney for a while. He did like the Jungle Book, but I did the voice of Firestar in Spider-Man and His Amazing Friends. Now that has gotten a lot of new attention since Disney got Marvel a couple of years
That's
ago.
right.
And they're coming out with, I mean, I go to a lot of the Comic Cons.
I saw that. Yeah.
Autograph shows.
Right.
And so I bring like the character of Firestar.
Oh, cool.
I sign it. They are bringing out, things that never were, and this was in the 80s.
Right.
So here, a new one of all three of us, Spider-Man, Iceman, and Firestar. So it's amazing to me. But I think in one aspect, there isn't a lot of really good family kinds of things on TV.
True.
And 2, I mean, you can watch this on network TV. You don't have to subscribe. You don't have to find it. You don't have to have an extra thing on your roof, or don't have to do this. Just turn it on channel 2 or 4 or 13 or whatever, and there's something.
Exactly. Yeah.
The only thing that we have is Prime Time. It is Amazon.
Yeah. I'm on Amazon a lot. Amazon or Netflix. Yeah.
Yeah. Those are really the only 2. I think my son thinks Amazon is Santa Claus because I see a new little Amazon package almost every day on the porch.
I know. I spent a fortune.
You have to pay for these things.
I know, but they have good deals. They really do.
They have great deals. They just finished a Prime 2-day thing, and I got 2 fake trees for my.
Oh, did you?
Rooftop to be, because there's no water up here.
I bought a really cool snowman Christmas tree. It's all white. It's got the face of a snowman with the hat and everything, and he's got his feet, the boots, and little arms sticking out. So I don't really have.
Is it a snowman or is it
It's a snowman Christmas tree.
It's a Christmas tree that
very
looks like
different.
a snowman.
Very different. Yeah.
I love it. Oh, that's nice.
It's really awesome. The
Frost would
grandkids love it.
Oh, I bet they like what snowman brings them too.
Yeah, exactly.
What's under that snowman?
Definitely spoil them. I did a marathon of Family Affair. Okay. I got hooked. Once you start watching them, you can't stop. I'm going to tell you what's some of my favorite episodes.
Okay.
What were you going to say? Go ahead.
No, I mean, I think it's interesting to see the way they grow up. The show let them grow up each
Right.
year. So that's kind of nice.
Yeah. You didn't change too much.
Yes, I did. I went to being very, young and then dating and then to, going
Yeah.
to be on the B score and then going maybe to college, which I would never go, or maybe being a princess in
I was worried about you though, because you were so gullible with you're going to get married twice,
right.
you know? And yeah, thank God for Uncle Bill and Mr. French.
Right.
I think, like you said, A Waltz from Vienna, which aired in 1968. That was like a Cinderella movie. I mean, that was so cool.
That was my favorite. I mean,
Yeah,
speaking of rom-coms, it was very
right.
back then. I thought Cissy was really stupid to turn him down. I would have married him in a flash. What's wrong with that girl?
Would you date him for a week or something? I mean,
It was like instant love.
yeah,
Oh, I'm just a young girl. I don't know what love is. Oh,
I
come on.
know.
Yes, you do.
It was a fairy tale, you know. You like the fairy tale. That's what it was.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
love
Uncle Bill had to snap you out of it. That was great though. Where'd you shoot that? Because it was so realistic, the like the palace and all that.
CBS Studio
Really?
Center on Radford. We rarely went anyplace. That was during the era. If you needed some, we built Spain and we
Right.
built Tahiti.
Tahiti,
We
yeah.
built the Central Park. We did it all.
England.
right
You
there.
went to England, yeah.
Yeah, right in the great big studios. We would
They did a great job.
yes. That's one thing. Another thing I really admire about Family Affair was the quality of production,
Yes.
and it was on film, and it was during the time when they were transitioning from film to television, and so we had our director was from Abbott and Costello, and our creator and writer was from Bob Hope, did all the Bob Hope movies,
Right.
and they had a film sensibility as well as the technical thing of the film. And we did, one camera for 4 years, and then we finally went to getting 2 cameras, but it was all in that beautiful, color. And then they got
Exactly.
tape,
Yeah.
and then there's much more reality kinds of
Mhm.
things that was so striking. And I much prefer film.
The quality was great. It was
Yeah.
really awesome. Yeah. Oliver. Remember Oliver?
Oh, yes, the episode of Oliver.
Yeah, that was cool.
Yeah.
They tricked Uncle Bill. They said a friend was coming, but it was a dog. But that was pretty cool because it showed how vulnerable Uncle Bill was because he was scared of the dog. You thought he was super macho and nothing's going to bother him, but
Yeah.
he ran from the dog. It
He had a traumatic experience when he was a child.
Oh, really? Is that right?
No, I'm just saying.
Oh, okay.
I'm
It was
giving
a
him
big
a
dog.
rationale.
Yeah, but you, Buffy, and Jody went right up to the dog like no big deal,
I love dogs. I
Yeah.
love them. Well, my son and my daughter-in-law, they train dogs and dog walk and do all that. So we have a lot of visitors to our house that are of the canine kind.
The canine persuasion.
Yeah, that's right. Exactly.
Now, this episode hit the times and what was going on in the flower power episode.
Oh, yeah.
That was cool. I mean, Cissy was ready to join hippies like overnight.
I was always ready to go to the Peace Corps or do this or do that.
Exactly.
And Jamie Farr was in that episode.
I know. I saw that.
He lives in my community.
Does he really?
Yeah, he's up the street, and Mickey Dolenz is down the street. And
I had Mickey on the show. I met Mickey backstage too. I wanted to get an interview with Jamie for such a long time because my best friend was Lebanese. My father's family was Syrian. And we could, I'm half Cuban, half Syrian. I'm a Cuberian. So I could actually talk to Jamie, but he's a hard guy to get a hold of. I've been trying. I did talk to Loretta Swit. Loretta Swit was on the show. She is so nice.
Yeah,
Such
very
a nice
nice
person.
And Jamie, where was Jamie? I just saw someplace. We go to these Hollywood museums, have
Right,
exhibits all the time,
right.
and I think that Jamie was at that one. He's, I think, how old is he? 90?
90s. Yeah, I
Yeah,
think
yeah.
so. Early 90s. Yeah, he's a pretty cool
He's
guy.
up there and around. George Shakiris tomorrow night is going to. There's this costume designers association in
Right.
Bank, and they're showing Westwood Story, and then he's going to do question and answer. He looks great. He
Really?
looks fabulous, and
Hmm.
he talks well, and he's
Uh-huh.
in his 90s.
Yeah. But
So
both my parents lived till 90s. My dad was 95 and my mom was 92.
well, that's
So
great. Those are good genes. My grandmother died at 101, and
wow.
that was a while ago. Uh,
Wow.
my parents not so hot. They were in their 70s, but my
Yeah.
grandma, I hope I get my grandma's genes.
Isn't it cool to talk? I talked to my grandma. She was, I think, 85 or something like that. But just to talk to her about the old days, I mean, like she was there when cars were made and the first airplane, and they were
My
born in the
yeah,
1800s.
yeah.
Yeah.
I think my grandma was born in like 1890 or whatever. She
Yeah.
came over by herself from Austria, uh,
Wow.
and from emigrated
Hmm.
here, and she had 4 kids, and her husband died. Was hit by a train, I believe.
Oh gosh.
And so she had 4 little kids. So she took her house and she made it a boarding house.
Hmm.
She was very entrepreneurial. She came to Los Angeles. She
Right.
bought property in Long Beach and made an apartment. And so I look and try and I get inspiration from her. It's a backbone. And no matter what your politics, I
That's
mean,
right.
I did think that Trump gave an inspirational
Yeah.
kind of speech. You have to have a little backbone and just keep fighting, no matter what it is, and whether it's for your family, whether it's for your job, whether it's
I
for your
agree.
health, just keep persevering. I've done speeches on the power of perseverance for a
Hmm.
long time, and I think it helps. Never, never, never give up. That's Winston Churchill.
I agree, 100%. That bullet came so close.
Oh,
Oh my gosh.
but I heard someone say on a couple of channels that it was shards from the monitor that got the. I said,
Really?
really? Are
Oh my
you
gosh.
kidding me? You can honestly just sit in front of a camera and say that with such a belief and
Yeah.
verity? Please.
Yeah.
I mean,
Mm.
anyway, it was obviously a bullet.
Yeah. Now, you know what they're saying now? They're saying somebody on Facebook said that the bandage was a fake bandage and that he did that for promoting himself. I mean,
I saw that, and my poor
yeah,
husband had a cancer on his ear.
right.
And I saw, I think it was today, that they say ears bleed a lot.
Yeah, they do.
It's one of the places on your body. It's
Right.
like your teeth and your ears just bleed and bleed and bleed,
Yep.
and it's hard to stop that. So some of these are, you just say,
I
that's
know. And you
that's
can't
your
argue
opinion.
with them.
Fine, go along with
You cannot argue with them.
it.
I was a huge supporter of Ronald Reagan.
Oh,
I grew up in DC, so I saw all the action. I saw a lot of I was invited to his ball, the inauguration ball, because I was friends with all the press. I had a store downstairs at the JW Marriott Hotel, and the National Press Building was above us. So we were involved with all kinds of stuff in DC. We
what
took
kind
it
of
for
store
granted, of
did you
course.
have?
Electronics, retail electronics. Yeah.
So when these computers came along, you knew exactly what to do.
Yeah, well, that was before computers, more like Walkmans and things like that, CD players, cameras,
Yes, but that experience, didn't that help you when,
with
you knew?
computers. No, I hired somebody to teach me computers.
I just pick mine piece by piece by piece, and when something goes wrong with it, I take it to a computer shop. Would you please help this?
Yeah, exactly. That's what my wife does.
Yeah,
The
yeah,
Geek Squad.
right. I think it was Nixon's inauguration, and I was shooting Family Affair. Is that the one? Yeah, I was shooting Family Affair, and I had to work, and so I brought my inauguration gown along with me, because as soon as I finished, I was, whisk away, went to the airport. I'm changing my makeup on the plane. I get out, I run to the powder room of the Washington airport and put on this lovely white cloak, and I said, okay, let's go. And that's the way I appeared at the inauguration, but at least I was dressed. And
Exactly. I just remember there was a fountain of champagne and all these diplomats, and it was pretty cool. It was in Georgetown, one of those old houses in Georgetown.
oh yeah, they're
Yeah,
great. They're
yeah.
great. What was your book about? Part of the family.
Well,
What was your family doing?
that's the family business in DC. That's me in the front cover.
Oh, okay. And so you're standing in front of the store?
In front of the store. It's on 13th and F Street. We were like 2 blocks from the White House. So we had a lot of
Yeah,
interesting people that came in.
for
A
sure.
lot of politicians, a lot of celebrities came in. I remember lots of people.
To follow in the family business?
For years. I mean, we were involved for, I don't know, 35, 40 years altogether. But there were uncles and cousins and, my Greek, what is it called? My big Greek wedding or whatever.
Oh yeah, my big fat Greek wedding.
Yeah, there you go. We were like that.
Oh yes, but you're not Greek, you're Syrian.
Well, they're close.
Lebanese. Yeah, that's true. Good Mediterranean meal.
Yeah, imagine half Cuban and half Syrian. I mean,
it's an interesting palette of cuisine.
Yeah, exactly. Good food, really good food.
Yeah, excellent.
Well, my favorite episode, I got to tell you, was the Unsinkable Mr. French. That was so funny. Oh my gosh. To see everything happen to Mr. French was funny.
I don't remember that one.
Really?
Well, we did 130, I think 132 or whatever episodes.
Right.
See, back then we would do like 32 to 30. Well, we started out, I think, with 36 episodes, and then it went down to 32. It amuses me so much these days when someone will come up, oh, we got picked up for our second season. I said, oh, that's great. Yeah, we get to do 8 more. 8 more, and that makes a season.
I know.
Now some are up to 12, but a season is 8 episodes, so that's
true.
The way that things change. Well, I think the attention of most people has dwindled, and they're used to. Our show is very slow, and so that was on purpose, and I think that was because of the day, and they would really, go up for big close-ups, and it was all Mr. Hartman's. It was all through the eyes. You're acting through the eyes, but people got to know those faces. It wasn't
right.
And I think it permitted more of emotion to come through, and people then to identify with that.
I did write
a
pilot. I wrote a pilot based on the book.
Where is it?
I did a TV pilot. I don't know what to do with it.
Well, you have to make a pitch thing for it. You say,
well, I'm not sure if I'm pitching the right people. Do you know a website called Stage 32?
Well, Stage 32.
I have pitched it, but these guys are more or less teachers. And they'll tell you if it's a good pitch, a bad pitch, but they don't have they won't connect you with the right people to buy it or anything like that. Right. But I've talked to some influential people about it, and they liked it, but I don't know what else to do with it, really.
Is it a reality show, or is it a sitcom, or is it
a comedy? A comedy sitcom based on the book.
It's a script. Yeah. So it's a scripted sitcom.
Yes. Yep.
Okay. So, and then once you get that, you have to do like a pitch deck.
I did that.
And you did the pitch deck. Okay.
I did the pitch deck.
And then sometimes you just have to get an agent and have the agent go pitch it to you. Like, Dr. Phil now has his own network. He moved to Dallas, and Merritt Street is the Merritt Street Network. And then his son is the production for Stage 29.
Okay.
And they produce a lot of things. So I think like I'm pitching a show to them now because
Right.
they're very family oriented, and they want really good content. And
Mhm.
right now it's just Dr. Phil in the morning and Dr. Phil at night and Dr. Phil in the afternoon. And they have some, like news or interspersed there. But that's a good place.
Okay, I'll try that.
But sometimes they won't read things unless you have it's under the auspices of an agent. So I think that it would behoove you, and they don't take anything unless they sell it.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
And
and I would
sometimes it's hard to get an agent too, because
well, you
uh,
just got to get out there and do it.
perseverance.
Perseverance, that's right. Get it and then persevere.
That's right. Kathy says perseverance.
Yes, that's
I
right.
got I got to ask you, because you were the time you did Family Affair and you were a teenager, and the rock and roll back then was awesome, incredible. I was actually a top 40 DJ back in the late 70s.
Uh,
What music were you into back then?
I was primarily into disco music. And then I got hooked up with Tommy Boyce and Bobby Hart.
Right.
And they were wonderful composers.
Yep,
And
they were great.
Mickey may have told you, and
Mhm.
you may have discussed them because they did The Last Train to Clarksville, and they
Yep.
did the theme song for the Monkees. And so they were right during that 66, 71 kind of era. And it was, I listened to primarily that. But now, I'll tell Alexa, Alexa, play 70s music because I miss 70s
I
music.
know. Me too.
R&B on Amazon Music.
No, Alexa, no.
That's funny.
She's so attentive. Okay, Alexa, off. Thank you, though. Don't have an Alexa next to you. She picks up on everything.
I've got like 4 all over the house.
Oh,
So
me too.
yeah.
So when there's this one here, and then I have this one over there. So when I go out on my Oasis, take that one, and I'll tell her, okay, play Jazz Fruits. Well, this one will start playing Jazz Fruits. I said, no, not you. Now I have to unplug her. But there's one in the kitchen, and there's one in the downstairs. Yeah.
when my wife is, we have a dual office here. My wife works behind me, and she sounds just like you. She says, Alexa, play R&B music. She does the same thing. It's so funny.
Including Friday and Believe on Amazon Music.
Oh, God. Is that you or me? Is that you?
No, she just heard you.
She heard you? God.
She heard you.
Oh my gosh.
She's playing R&B music now.
That is so funny.
Alexa, off.
It's crazy. Well, I know they told me you only got 30 minutes. So I do want to.
We're over our time.
When I was a DJ, I did a 6-hour show. So to me, it's no biggie. I do long shows. I asked this question.
This is my job. I got to go finish writing. I got to go do something on the Oasis.
I asked this question to all the music legends, and I'm going to kind of reword it for you as an actress. If you had a Field of Dreams wish, that's one of my favorite movies, to, I don't know, perform with or collaborate with anyone from the past or present, who would that be?
On a musical scale or as an actor?
Probably as an actor, I guess.
Well, I think Tom Selleck is very handsome. And actually, Tom Selleck, I belong to a group called the Motion Picture Mothers Club.
Okay.
And it's been a club for like, I don't know, almost 50 years. And it was started to help the kids of the mothers of the kids. Well, Tom Selleck's mom had been like a member for a long time. And he's been very, very supportive. And he is very handsome. Actually, I think my husband kind of looks like Tom Selleck.
Really? Cool.
Yeah, I do.
Yeah.
And Tom Selleck is a little more handsome. But I'm on the board of that. And now I've just been selected to be on the board of Thalians, which is a venerable organization that was started by Debbie Reynolds and Ruta Lee. And unfortunately, as you know, Debbie passed, but we have a gala each year and to help the mentally disabled. I don't know the right words. Got it. Gotta make sure I'm saying the right words these days. And then we're just doing a comedy show. Jolie Fisher she's on the board, and that's Eddie Fisher and Connie Stevens' daughter. And so she's producing it, and she's on the board. Anyway, I mean, I could blah 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 for a while, but this is why I have my husband, so I can talk to him. He can say,
Well, the Kathy Garver team told me 30 minutes, so I'm trying to be polite.
Thank you. They will appreciate it. I will tell Fred and Manny.
Okay.
you
All
were
right.
really,
They didn't
really
tell me
kind.
their names. They just said the Kathy Garver team.
Ah, yes, they're under the wire here.
So did we cover everything?
I think so. I'd love people to go to my website.
Okay.
That's kathygarver.com. How
Right.
inventive and creative. KATHYGARVER.
Okay.
.com, and they can see all my books and photos that I have there, and my candles. I have a little emporium.
Cool.
Or join me on Facebook, and that's just Kathy Garver, or Instagram, because I usually post every day. That's at KG Cissy. And so all those things, I really like people. I like to talk to them. I like to see what they're doing.
Sure.
And it's very heartening.
Well, I am posting all of your books on all my websites.
Oh, thank you.
Their covers and everything, because it's very important to promote authors. So
I appreciate that.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Kathy, thank you so much for being on the show.
Well, thank you, Ray. That was really
it's such
fun.
a pleasure. You're terrific. You are. I admire everything you do, and you still look wonderful.
Oh, well, thank you.
Or
And your
should I
wife is
say
right on the other
marvelous?
side. My husband's downstairs. No, you have a great look. Now, why do you wear the dark glasses?
They're prescription, and I've got those little squiggly things.
Oh
in
yeah,
your
floaters.
eyes. Floaters. I got floaters, and then when I look at a white screen, it really bothers me.
Oh.
So now it's become my trademark every time I interview somebody. So
Well, it just looks so cool.
yeah, that too.
But this is really fun. Thank you.
That was fun, Kathy. We'll touch bases again.
Yes.
We can update everything that you've got going on.
When my book comes out,
Yep.
when we're done with the thing about pickles.
Yeah, exactly. And the movies. I can't wait for the book. I'm going to buy that one, and my wife's going to love it. She loves that.
That'd be great. Thank
It's
you.
going to be great. Thank you, Kathy.
Thanks, Ray. Have a
All
great
right.
rest of your day.
You too. Take care.
Okay, bye.
Bye.
Thank you for joining us on Interviewing the Legends. Today's guest is actress and author Kathy Garver.